Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Avax. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't watched the previous update, watch that before watching this one, guys, because there's going to be some stuff that I don't mention in this one. So it's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. So once you're done with that, get back to this video. And yeah, let's jump into the technical analysis. So on the daily chart, we have a Fibonacci retracement. The chart is on TradingView, pulled from the Binance exchange. As you can see, we have our swing low all the way back here in July and June of 2021. And we had our swing high all the way here in February of last year. And as you can see, we reached the 1.414. I did mention back during that time that this would be a good time to take some profits from Avax. And afterwards, we started printing lower highs and lower lows. And ever since then, we've been in this downtrend. One thing that I want to mention as well is that we are seemingly printing some sort of a bullish divergence. So if you zoom into the daily RSI and you zoom into the price action chart, you can see that the RSI is printing a higher low. If I take this trend line here, you can see the low is going higher. But if you take the same trend line, okay, and you place it from this low to this low, you can see that it's basically horizontal, right? You're not printing a higher low. So this goes to show that we are printing a hidden bullish divergence, or actually that's not called a hidden, this is called an exaggerated bullish divergence. This is when the RSI is going higher, but the price action is staying horizontal. Now this is typically followed by a move to the upside. And if I take a trend line here just to show you that we are in this nice pattern to the upside, okay, just like that. As you can see, we are in some sort of a range here, and you are potentially going to break above the red trend line. Now that would be a very bullish thing to do because we've done that once here in July and in August, but we couldn't solidify and we couldn't hold ourselves above the red trend line. As you can see here, you have one touch, second touch of the red trend line, and a third touch. Potentially, we may run into that as resistance once again here in October/November, and I would look at support at the yellow trend line. Losing that support, you're probably going back into the oversold, and if you're in the oversold, that's a incredible buying opportunity for any asset really, because if you're below the index of 30, you usually see very, very quick bounces from that area. As you can see, we're back here in January of 2022, in April of this year, in May, in June, and once here in August. So yeah, and that's regarding the daily chart. Moving over to some support levels that you want to keep an eye on. So you're losing this buy zone I gave you a while back at $16 all the way up to $17. You're losing that. You're back testing it as resistance, which is quite negative, and you're coming back down to this support level of the Fibonacci retracement at $14.50. So let me get the price tag in there for you. So $14.50, the 0.236. You had one wick there October 13th. You had a second wick there October 21st. So this is going to be a very nice buying opportunity, but I gotta say, if you start losing that level, that's gonna be quite negative for Avax, and we may be looking at a retest of the lows that we printed during last year's pullback in summer. Over here, as you can see, this is where I was telling you guys you have great entry points back during last summer, and right now we could be looking at a similar scenario here because, like I said, if you lose the 0.236, you're going to continue down, and at some point you're going to have to land on a crucial support level, and anywhere from $10.66 to $9.40, that could potentially be your crucial level. I can never know for sure, but this is a level that I would be keeping an eye on because this is where we bounced off of back in July of last year. So this level has confluence. You also have the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level here. So if you start losing the swing low here that we have on the Fibonacci, then this is going to be your minimal target at $11, and $8.29 is going to be your technical target at the 1.618. But we haven't done that yet. We still have a little bit left, 13-14% pullback until we start losing this low. Obviously, if Bitcoin decides to drop to $14,000, I think Avax most probably will retest these levels here. But then again, we don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know if Bitcoin is going that low. A lot of people do believe that. I think if we have a capitulation, 14K is the bottom, and that's going to be an incredible, a generational opportunity for you to get into Bitcoin and crypto if Bitcoin's going back to $14,000. Personally, I wish it goes back to $14,000 at least for an hour. I'm going to buy a lot of coins at those levels, but I don't know if they're going to allow the price to go that low, because the whales are buying in. Bitcoins are getting withdrawn from exchanges to hold them on cold storages. So people are smart and people know what they're doing, and the stupid people are obviously selling at a loss and getting out of the markets when you should be getting into the markets. But yeah, here on this channel, we're all about the future. We're all about long-term investments, and if you want to swing trade, meanwhile, we also do that. But I'm buying for the next 2 years, for the next year and a half, 2.5 years, until we get to the bull market and we see the next sort of peak. And if you take a look at the 20 EMA, which is the yellow line, and the 55 EMA, which is the red line on the daily chart, we're bouncing our head on the 20 EMA constantly, which is very typical for a downtrend in a bear market. And yeah, so also I would target the low here. Like I said, this is the swing low of the Fibonacci retracement, $13.71. And as you can see, this is where we started retracing from all the way into August, into that relief rally. And now we're coming back down to where we came from. So we're doing everything we need to be doing during this pullback and during this bear market, because like most of the altcoins have done exactly that. They printed a low in June, they had a relief rally in August, and they came back down to where they came from in June. And yeah, this is potentially a very nice double bottom pattern that we have at our hands here. We just need to hold this key support level. If we lose that, you have more targets to the downside, as we have discussed earlier. Let's switch over to the Binance chart for more oscillators. Switching over to the weekly chart on the Binance website, obviously we have a bearish cross in June of this year on the weekly, confirming our bear market. We're very far away from the 20 EMA, so we potentially might see a relief rally all the way up to the 20 EMA on the weekly chart. That's around about $24 right now. And we're coming back down to this support here, anywhere between $14.8 to $13.7. That's a great buying opportunity. And if I switch on the RSI on the weekly chart, you can see that we do have two major support levels that I want to target for potential exits and swing trades. So you have one level at 47 and one level at 41 on the index. And as you can see, these are previous lows that we have printed. So this low was printed back in June of 2021. Then you had that, or July, I should say, and then you had that relief rally into November. You came back down and you retested this level at 47 on the index twice, once in January, once in February, and then you broke down, and you still haven't had the retests of resistance for neither of the trend lines. So that's potentially something that we might be looking at if we see a relief rally here in November or at the end of October, which I'm very doubtful we're going to have anything in October, because the month has already almost ended. And I was expecting some sort of a move in October, because we did see a nice bullish move in October for the past 3 years. But right now we're in a bear market, so that's why I guess we didn't. The sentiment is very negative, very bearish, and maybe we do see some sort of a relief rally in November. But at the beginning of November, we have the FOMC meeting happening, so always remember that we're going to potentially see another pullback at the beginning of November. So the MACD here has printed a bullish cross in August, just like we did last year here in August, and we saw this uptrend into November. The EMA, or the moving average, the yellow line, is not curling down, and they're in a perfect position to continue to the upside. The histogram is bullish, but if you're in a flat like this, this indicator is not really best to use in this situation, but you can use this as a confirmation indicator. So if something is going to happen on the chart, on the price action chart, then you have the confirmation of the MACD if you get a bullish cross, right? And this is the exact same thing that happened over here, but it's not as bullish because last time around we were in a bull market. You always have to remember that. And moving to the stochastic, you can see that we are down below here in the oversold. The last time we were here was back in August of 2021 and in June of 2021. And the settings that I have for my stochastic are as follows. 2833. I've done that just so we can have less false signals. So this is not the stock RSI. This is simply the stochastic or the stock. And moving forward in the next year and a half or 2 years, once you're back up here, that is when you want to start taking profits, because you were up here in November and in September, and those were good take profit opportunities for Avax. And yeah, that's pretty much it regarding the weekly chart. Thank you all for watching. We took a look at some nice support levels. You have some nice resistance levels. You have the 20 EMA, you have this high here at $28, you have the 55 EMA, and then you have this low that we printed in January of this year at $52. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon, and have a great day. Goodbye.